All right, everybody, welcome. Episode number 15. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to come in too hot there. Episode number 15 today.
Slow
Welcome,
down.
everybody. Sit down, Marks. Episode number 15, boys. Can you believe it, man?
That
15.
15. Hey, I mean, I was actually doing some calculations too. Thinking about it, I think happy 10th episode to AJ.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, we got a little anniversary here.
Yes, sir.
That's right. My 10th one. Look at me go. I'm part of the family and stuff. Also, 15 is the number of boobs that Homer Simpson saw on spring break. Little Simpsons trivia for you. So
There was one uniboob.
Yes, or one with 3 boobs. Like they leave that open to the imagination. Like they never specify what.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show today. I am the Dirty Bird, your heel host. Those are my co-hosts. Let's start with the guy from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme himself, editor and producer. You guys better acknowledge him, Primo.
Thank you.
Also, my other co-host, the big baby face straight out of your mama's kitchen, assistant editor and producer, AJ. Welcome, sir.
Hi, Marks.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi,
Hi.
Marks.
Mark.
Welcome, everybody, to the show today. I want to thank our sponsors. Let's crack them things open, boys. What kind of rowdy energy are we drinking today?
We are drinking.
A little bit of sour green apple.
I'm about to get punched by a circus. We got
Cotton candy action. I went with the old chiseled ice, the chizzy ice, if you will.
A circus in your mouth.
What is chizzy ice?
Chizzy ice.
Chizzy ice. If you will.
Like
If Chiseled Ice Rowdy was a rapper, that'd be his name. Chizzy Ice.
Chizzy
Like
ice.
that's accepted like slang for chiseled ice.
It's chizzy ice.
Yeah, the old chizzy ice. You know, chizzy ice.
I want to thank everybody watching on Twitch, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Also, want to thank everybody listening on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, and live Friday nights on Sportinarium.com online radio, man. How much do we love Sportinarium, boys?
Absolutely.
A
Love
little.
them.
A little too much. Like it's getting to be an uncomfortable amount of love that I have for Sportinarium.
Would
Might
you
need to
say-
dial it back a bit.
I had to agree. The whole Sportinarium group, we're meshing real well with them, and everything's going great.
Oh, they're
We're-
amazing.
We're enjoying being on their network and can't think of enough.
No,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I'm super fired up. So, AJ, would you start a tag team with Sportinarium, and you guys could be the new Billy and Chuck, maybe?
Yes, but I get to be Chuck. I'm calling Chuck.
So
Good to me.
As long as I don't have to be the Billy. In
No,
this
Dirty gets to be Rico.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yep. It's settled. I'm Chuck. Sportinarium is Billy, and it's all a big joke.
All right, guys.
Thomas Bryce, Billy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about this later, man. We got a big episode next week. Big Beef. Gnarls Garvin is going to be on the show.
Can't wait.
And if you haven't seen the video, I'm going to play it for you one more time. You better be listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast. Check it out.
It's the Beefster here, and I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's gonna have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint you.
Yeah, baby.
That's
man.
great.
I cannot wait to have him on the show next week. We're going to talk about him later on in the show today. But let's kick this thing off, man. Let's get it started. Episode number 15. Primo, what do you say, brother? This day in wrestling history and wrestler birthdays.
We got a good one on this day in wrestling history. This day in wrestling history, June 23rd. That's today, if you wanted to know. 1996. WWF King of the Ring. Austin 316 was born.
Oh,
Weird.
the famous promo with
Yeah, you
Michael
talk
Hayes?
about your Psalms. You talk about
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
classic.
that great moment in history, wrestling history.
Who would have thought that would have been nuts?
Crazy.
Like started a revolution.
I'm assuming that we'll all talk about Austin 316 and other Austin related topics later on in the episode. If I
He might come up later.
He might come up.
He might come up later. Yeah,
maybe in a list or two.
Yeah, maybe.
2003. Let's push it forward 7 years. At the time, when there was Monday Night Raw, and it was Triple H
to the music,
versus Kane. I think that was the theme song at that time too.
I think it was.
Yeah. Triple H versus Kane in a mask versus title match. World Heavyweight Champion Triple H. Of course, he won. This is the moment that caused Kane to unmask.
Oh, that's right.
And then when he unmasks, turns on RVD, gives him that brutal choke slam.
Hardcore, yeah.
Yeah.
We all learned that Kane was actually Dr. Isaac Yankem the whole time.
The whole time.
We didn't know.
When he unmasked, he just had like the curly hair back here.
Yeah,
and it was like nothing up here. Yeah.
So, am I the only one that the only time I've ever liked a Nickelback song is when they did the Raw intro?
Burn it to the ground tonight. Yeah.
You could have stopped at the only one who's ever liked the Nickelback
I mean, I
song.
actually primo confession, I do like Nickelback. So
Do you?
Yeah.
They got one.
Let's move forward. 2018. This one's more for the two marks that are sitting with me.
All right.
AAW Wrestling Rules.
Yeah.
Main event. ACH defeats David Starr to retain the heavyweight title.
ACH.
Also on the card, we had Moose defeating Eddie Kingston. We had Trevor Lee defeating Trey Miguel. Brody King defeating Sami Callihan, and Colt Cabana defeating MJF. All on this card at AAW.
That sounds amazing.
Hey, man, they were loaded there for a while. Chicago's on Colt Cabana.
Uh-huh.
Man,
Right.
What a stat card that was, man.
Yeah, man. And it's just, you think about that was 3 years ago. Now where all these guys are at, you know?
Yeah.
They're all like superstars and awesome. Well, most of them are superstars and awesome.
So, wrestling birthdays today, it inadvertently happened to be, I got 3, I usually pick 3 or 4. Inadvertently, it's a women of wrestling birthdays today. 1983, we have Brandy Rhodes.
Brandy Rhodes. I didn't realize that she was like our age. Not your age, Primo, because you're
She's only 6 years older than me.
Child, you're a child.
This one is the same age as me. In fact, she's a month older than me since her birthday's today, and my birthday is July 23rd. Billy Kay.
Oh, Billy Kay.
I miss Billy. I miss the Iconics. I liked them. Like, I thought they were funny.
Me too. I did. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but
Iconics.
I love the entrance music. And on a funny note, I was enjoying Billy Kay's shtick there at the end before she got cut loose. When she was handing out the resume with the picture. And stuff
It was hilarious. It was like
she was trying to make it work, and it was. We were paying attention to her, and also. Who was it? Was it Peyton Royce that got on the SmackDown talk and had that promo where she got a little more serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They should have never broke them up. But anyway.
I know,
and then fired them.
Moving forward, 1994. British female wrestler from she's been on Defiant, Progress, and NXT UK.
Dewdrop.
The Asian sensation Kanji.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
I haven't heard that name in a long time though. Not Dewdrop.
Not Dewdrop. She'll be talked about later.
Will she?
Just slightly.
Unfortunately.
And that is your. I'm just a kid, remember?
Yeah.
That is your this day in wrestling history, June 23rd.
All right, well done, Primo. Well done. All right, let's talk about the show today. We're going to talk about our top 5 favorite wrestler entrances of all time. This is a fun one. You know,
I'm so excited
everybody
about this.
loves the pops, the entrances. You know, we're gonna talk about all that. Also, we have brand new stickers. If you are listening right now, message us on Twitter. Sit Down Marks, SITDOWNMARKS, all lowercase. We're giving out free stickers, so just send us your name and address on there, and we'll be glad to send out some free stickers to you because we appreciate you guys for listening to the show. We had a big a moment on the show last week. Primo, what happened? What happened today? Actually,
What happened today? Today, on this day, for last week's episode 14. Are you marks out there? We can't be thankful enough because we had 100 downloads for the first time
yes,
in a
thank
7-day
you.
period
Awesome.
on our latest episode. It just it was amazing when I pulled up the analytics and saw that triple digit number. It blew my mind that we reached 100. Now it's over 100 actually. On our latest episode 14. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this ball rolling, and we're gonna take this podcast to the moon.
That's right.
So I have a prediction about this. I'm guessing that, us being humble and not at all, marking out of our own show, but I'm guessing that in 6 months from now, when we hit, however many, whatever milestone is up next, we're gonna look back and be like, remember how excited we were about 100 downloads?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, I bet there are other podcasts that look at us celebrating our 100 downloads in 1 week, and they're like, "That's cute."
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I know.
But
I bet they are.
fine.
But to us, it is a big deal, and
Yes,
we
it
thank every
is.
single one of you that are listening, and we hope that you continue to listen.
I love
Absolutely.
each and every one of you beautiful marks.
Yes, AJ will come kiss every one of you straight on the mouth, right and out of his mama's kitchen,
Right out of my mama's kitchen.
just for downloading the show.
to your mouth. That's
But we really do appreciate it, man. We're so humble. We're just a couple guys talking wrestling, and we're just happy that there's other people out there that enjoy it. So, but let's get this thing underway, man. Like I said, we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite wrestler entrances. We got the week recap. We got to talk about an awful pay-per-view that was Hell in a Cell.
no.
So, so we'll get started here. I want to also tell you guys that all the previous audio episodes are now available on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, and Sportinarium.com online radio Fridays at 7:15. All right, well, let's get this thing underway here. Looks like I am still up because Impact is still on up on Thursdays. AJ, didn't you say AEW is on Fridays until what, the end of the month?
Until the 30th. Actually, next week they're having a show on Saturday,
Okay.
and then they're going back to their Wednesday night.
They're just keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, we're gonna put on a show when we feel like it. And
Yeah.
you marks are gonna deal with it.
Like,
and
you will watch it.
and we do, and happily so. So yeah, they're going back to Wednesday in 2 weeks.
Okay, so Impact up first last Thursday. Not a whole lot happened here. Honestly, like, I kind of struggled for things to write because there was a lot of backstage talking, that kind of stuff. But just footnotes about the show. Josh Alexander versus Madman Fulton. Petey Williams interferes. Trey Miguel comes out. And then this was kind of a big play up for Shira, who returns. Shira is... I can't remember. His name is Impact is Rahit Raju because on the Indies it's Hakeem Zayn. So I was trying to think which one to which. So, but anyway, yeah. So Rahit Raju, Shira comes out with him, cleans house. They end up standing tall at the end. Next up, a couple small notes. Macklin debuts. No Jameson, just Macklin. They called him Steve Macklin, actually.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, Steve Macklin, and he's just having his debut squash match. He does like a little bit of an inverted flapjack, but they're playing off that he's definitely a soldier. Don't
No
like to
sweet
talk
tea.
too much. Yep, no sweet tea. Kojima and Rhino wrestled to kind of continue the feud. So we get to the main event. The kind of storyline was the whole thing was Scott D'Amore talking to Don Callis about getting Sammy Callahan into the main event at Slammiversary with Omega and Moose. Well, Callis is like, well, Scott, Sammy's your boy. You got a soft spot for wrestlers. Basically, like Callis was saying that the wrestlers were, they're crummy. They make us money. Just let them be basically pigs.
Yeah.
And we'll do our
Yep.
thing and make money off of them. So
Yep.
out comes Tommy Dreamer.
No.
Yes, comes to deliver a message from Anthem, who is the parent company of Impact Wrestling, that well, he's playing out that like they're going to fire Scott D'Amore. Callis is like, yeah, Dreamer's like, this is coming from, up top, there's some manipulation going on, by the way. So anyway, so it plays out that he's going to fire Don Callis. Which this comes pretty funny because Callis plays it very well. He's selling it hard, talking about, you can't do this. I'm going to be, back, blah blah blah. Anyway, so and they also say at the end of the show that he is no longer the executive vice president of Impact Wrestling. So kind of adds to the storyline, I guess, for Slammiversary, which is July 17th. To close the show, coming out, Callis, the show Don Callis walking out. Sammy Callahan is randomly standing by a brick wall. Waiting on Callis to come out, and so he grabs him and they kind of have a few words, and Sammy basically says, I'm going to bash Kenny's brains in Slammiversary. So anyway, so that was how Impact went off. Nothing happened. It was
typical Sammy stuff.
Yeah, typical Sammy stuff. Yeah, it's pretty lame. So I covered all the indies and stuff last week. Not much has changed. Nothing really happened over the weekend, so I'll pick that back up next week. So all right, Primo, get us started with WWE SmackDown last Friday.
Smacketh downeth. The show opener.
If you smell.
They really got AJ there.
I was not expecting that. Smacketh downeth.
Layeth downeth.
Oh, man. So, show opener, we find out the Hell in the Cell match between Rey and Roman will in fact happen on SmackDown instead of at Hell in the Cell. This was decided due to a Twitter exchange between Rey and Roman.
Oh.
So Twitter exchanges are now dictating what happens on our wrestling broadcast.
They're booking matches on Twitter. Sure.
So before I get further into this, I said right here, it says, talk about my theory. My theory about this past Sunday was Father's Day.
Yeah.
Happy late Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Anyway, Rey Mysterio, the whole angle is about Roman beating up Roman beating up Rey's son. So you would think to be on Father's Day, Rey would be expected to win.
Against
no, because it's on Father's Day, and what I'm saying.
But Roman has kids.
Yeah,
one would argue that Roman's a better father.
I mean, he does have kids, but he physically put hands on Rey's son.
Yeah, but Rey's son had it coming.
He did. I mean, Dominic, he needs to.
We don't like him.
He's got to pay his dues. You know what I'm saying?
Roman's kids are fine.
Powerbomb him out of the ring a couple more times.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, that was my thing. I was like, man, maybe they moved it to Friday because of Father's Day. But in reality, they moved it to Friday because they're being lame. So,
because didn't Fox throw a fit? They're like, we want to Hell in the Cell.
We want to be cool too.
And then USA got really mad because they didn't get a Hell in a Cell match.
And then we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So let's get into the fact that it's Rey's first ever Hell in a Cell match. And not only that, but it's the first one on SmackDown. Additionally, I wrote down that for any of you true marks like myself, you would notice that at the beginning when Rey does that opening promo, he's wearing throwback gear. He's wearing a closed mask, and he was wearing the arm tassels like he used to wear in like ECW, WCW.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
However, when he actually has the mask, he has the open back mask on.
Yeah. Did this one have the I can't recall if it had like the puff mohawk. Did his mask this time have the stupid mohawk thing on
the
it?
one inside that when he wrestled?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I can't remember if he had it or not. I hate that
Yeah,
mask.
it was one of his. I didn't notice it until that he was wearing his older mask. Until right in the middle of promo, he undid the Velcro, and then they like did a 360 pan around, and you could see the closed mask. It was like one of the ones he wore whenever it was like the 2000s, and earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was cool. I'm a mark, I know. All right.
You need to sit down.
They agree. Him and Roman have some words about the Hell in a Cell match at the beginning of the show, and that ends that because it's not going to happen until the main event. More on later. Jimmy talks to Roman backstage. He tells them, you're right about us being the best, us representing the family. And Roman tells him to go figure out where Jay is because apparently Jay is MIA.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't heard
brother.
He hadn't heard from his own twin brother in over a week. So
right. He goes, I went by the crib and everything, dog. He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. He hit me up for nothing.
It's the only places he could be are in the ring or in his home.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, match begins and Ray hits Roman with everything he can get his hands on. Toolbox, candlestick, steel chair, everything he can get his hands on. So he was like teeing off on Ray for most of this match.
Yeah.
It was, he tried to make it as physical and believable. He's the biggest little man of the WWE. So, until Roman finally got his hands on him. And then that was the end. So, Roman, once he got his hands on him and was able to get the upper hand, he won the match and made him tap out with a modified choke, which I thought was weird because he was like, he had him like that. And like,
it's like almost like a, that was weird.
It was like he was holding him up too where the camera could see him.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's like going out,
They called it a modified guillotine. And I was like, how do you know Michael Cole?
Yeah. Right. Shut up, Muggle.
Inverted guillotine or something like that.
Yeah.
Just doing a wrestling maneuver
and
you normally do.
Go ahead.
I was say question. Has wrestling changed where the closed fist punch, has it been replaced by the forearm? Because I feel like everybody's doing the forearm. Like, maybe it looks better.
I think it looks less worked. Like because I mean, if you think of like the people who like do the closed fist punches, they always look just comical. Like remember when like I give Shane McMahon as the main example of just silly like little closed fist punches. But you're right, like they do the forearm now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it looks cooler.
Right. Like I think it's kind of a lost art. Like I remember one of the better
shake, rattle, and roll.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the better like closed fist punchers I've ever seen was Kurt Angle. Like he did it perfectly to me.
He did everything perfectly.
Yeah, and so I just feel like it's kind of a lost art. But anyway, the reason why I said that is because Roman drops 1,000 of them every match he's in.
He'll like get on top of them and just bash them in.
Yeah,
that makes it look more. That part when he does it makes it look more brutal.
Yeah. He like jumps over top of them, like grabs their head, and he's like,
exactly. It looks like he's just going like an MMA fight, just whooping them.
Right.
Yep. So Roman ends up winning, do that tap out, and after the match, Jimmy raises his hand. He acknowledges him.
Yep.
So that was the main storyline on SmackDown. A couple quick notes. We had the debut of Commander Aziz. Commander Aziz and Apollo Crews end up defeating KO and Big E with the help of a distraction from Sami Zayn. Afterwards, KO demands Adam Pearce give him Zayn at Hell in the Cell, and Adam Pearce makes it official. Next up, we have Corbin and Shinsuke officially for the crown. Corbin won the crown back in, I didn't realize it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's had that gimmick for a long time.
2019.
No kidding? Oh,
yeah, 2019.
God.
I was like, okay, so he has been living this king gimmick for too long.
Yeah, he's wore out the welcome, man. Let's move on from that.
So Shinsuke wins and is officially the king.
Poor Shinsuke, my boy.
Bianca Belair calls out Bayley and challenges her inside the Hell in a Cell.
Boogs.
They fight all around the ring, with Bayley getting the upper hand as she steps on Bianca's braid and raises that title, basically as a pre-game to Hell in a Cell on Sunday. Towards the end of the match, they announced that the latest matches. Last week we announced there was like 5. At the end of SmackDown, some new matches that were added were Bianca versus Bayley inside the cell, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. And that was SmackDown.
By the way, really quick, Undead Lumberjack talking about Baron Corbin.
This was good, yeah.
That is hilarious.
Lost hairline, gain crown.
Gain crown. Well said.
I mean, it's true.
That's
now
funny.
what is he gonna do?
Now he doesn't have anything.
Either.
I don't know, man.
Shinsuke has the crown, and he has
and
boobs.
the hairline.
I know. I love Rick Boogs or Eric Buchenhagen. Just getting
Eric
on,
Boobs.
getting on TV. I love it. He goes Shinsuke.
It's great.
Nakamura.
He hits them hair metal notes. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Man.
I still hate it because I love Shinsuke so much that it's just like let him be over. I'm never gonna get it, so I don't even know why I hold on to the hope.
I think the most we're gonna get was him and AJ Styles' short-lived feud.
Yes, which the best moment of that was when they were in the Money in the Bank match and they put the ladder aside for like 1 second. It was just the two of them squaring off before Shinsuke just grew an unhealthy obsession with AJ Styles' old testicles.
Right, yeah. All right, well, that is it for SmackDown. So, AJ, what happened last Friday on Dynamite?
So, this episode, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not. Okay, so it started with a cage fight, MMA style.
Oh, Hager.
Jake Hager and Wardlow.
Wardlow.
I love this match. So I really did. I was such a nerd during it. I mean, so they make it seem like they sell it like it's a really big deal. Like this is the first ever cage match.
And Hager was undefeated. He's never been beaten in a cage.
No. And it's okay. So it was obvious, like pretty much from the start of the match, that had this been a real match, Jake Hager would have absolutely annihilated Wardlow. He would have just destroyed him. But it being real, they did a pretty good job with it. Taz was on commentary, which he did okay.
He did all right.
Fine.
Yeah. What about Wardlow trying the Hurricane Rana?
Oh my! Like I was like, what is he doing?
Me too.
He's not Scott Steiner. Which every time Scott Steiner does it, he almost kills himself.
Right? Yeah.
He does the Frankensteiner.
He does do the Frankensteiner.
Go ahead.
If Jake didn't help him so much during that Hurricane Rana, like Wardlow would have necked himself and probably been in the hospital right now.
I just feel like they were trying to sell it as a cage match.
Yeah.
He's up here trying to Hurricane Rana. They would even try if they were in a ring, probably. You know what I mean?
He wouldn't try.
Where did that come from?
At one point, he jumps off the cage to give Hagar a Superman punch. It's like, come on. And they actually did a really nice job kind of hiding the fact that it wasn't real, because then they made Jake Hagar sell a side injury, and they made Wardlow just seem really gassed. And so that covered up a lot of the fact that it was obviously not real. But I loved it. I thought it was awesome. The end of the match, by the way, I have Hurricane Rana from Wardlow, question mark.
Right. Yeah.
So the end of the match was Jake finally gets the head and arm triangle, and Wardlow passes out, which is a very facey thing to do. He didn't tap out, passes out. And then afterwards, there was almost a little show of respect exchange of fist bumps. And then Sean Spears comes in and ruins that moment for me. Sean Spears. But I thought it was cool. I liked it. I don't know if it was good, because it probably wasn't. But one, it didn't go the full 3 rounds, which would have been excruciating. And 2, it was fine. It was something different and new, I guess. So on a wrestling show, so I was okay with it. Up next, Another awesome. I almost cussed. I need to get like a swear jar and put it like right here, because I need to keep reminding myself not to swear. Anyways, Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson versus QT Marshall and Austin Solo.
Brock Anderson.
I love Brock Anderson so much already. He's awful. I love his look though. He's like a run of the mill, like 1980s heel. Like he's got like a pudgy body and like monochromatic like tights and knee pads, and
Yes.
he looks like a goober in there, but like he's great. I love it. So it was really cool because JR and Tony, before the match, they talk about the history between like the Anderson family and the Rhodes family, which is a nice little touch.
Sure.
Even though the Andersons and the Rhodes hated each other, like kayfabe hated each other like all throughout their existence. And there was a point in the match where, so first of all, Arn looked so thrilled anytime Brock did anything, which I thought that was cool. That's a nice little Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
touch there.
Yeah.
That was cool.
He did a hip toss, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
That's my boy!"
yeah, beating his chest, like thumbs up.
Yeah, it was great.
Love it.
So at one point, QT Marshall hits a kind of a perfect Arn spinebuster, which I marked out for him. Like, that's an Arn spinebuster.
Yeah. I know. And Arn was looking at him like, "Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't use my spine buster."
It was fantastic. So end of the match, Brock gets the pin. Like, it's his first match, his debut match. He is a pudgy green, white meat babyface right now, but I think that'll change. I look forward to like him getting some experience and then turning into like that old school heel where he like uses the shoelaces on the eyes and
I can't wait till he beats up Arn for not ever being there while he was growing up, and he's always on the road, and and you know that storyline's coming.
It is
happens
like,
all the time.
He's
gonna clothesline him.
It's right there. It's gonna happen too, and I'm already 100% behind Brock Anderson, even though he's not very good, but I'm behind
Brock Anderson.
We're gonna do that every time now,
Mister Kennedy.
So the third main part of this wonderful show was a 6-man tag between Frankie Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta versus the Good Brothers and Matt Jackson. And I'm going to throw Brandon Cutler in there as well because he was also there. So out of I love 6 out of the 7 of these guys. You guys can guess who. I don't. They were.
I actually love Pentagon Jr.
But I just want Ray Phoenix. That's all. Like
I love
every
him
time
too.
I see Penta, I just want to be like, "You're not Ray Phoenix." So do your little hand gestures.
He's his brother. Good enough.
Yeah. I don't care.
I mean, I take that back. You know, I like the Hardys, but if somebody was like, "Well, Matt's just like Jeff," I was like, "Well, hold on now."
But right. Easy.
Yeah.
I
love Matt too, but he's not Jeff.
Yeah, that's true.
Matt was Eddie.
So,
I'm sorry, that's where we are.
It's true.
Somebody's a Sean, somebody's a Janetti. Jeff was Sean.
Matt was definitely the Janetti in that.
Is quick side note, Young Bucks is Nick, Sean, and Matt.
I think they're
Janetti?
I think they're both Sean when his catchphrase was, "I don't think so." Like, I think, remember like when he first turned heel and he was just almost an insufferable little.
Yes.
I think they're both. That's who the Young Bucks are, both of them.
Well, it's been 30 minutes. And you haven't done your Ultimate Warrior promo. If you want to go ahead and enlighten us with that.
Hulk Hogan. Turn the plane into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan. I'm getting better at it, I guess.
You are. It's still funny to me. Love it.
So,
A-Dub.
This match. Where are we? Oh, yeah, 6-man tag match. So, right off the bat, Frankie Kazarian goes nuts on the Good Brothers, continuing his whole I'm an elite killer storyline. Cool. Thumbs up. And then eventually the match just turns into everyone bail to the outside and have like little fights all around the ring. I love Eddie Kingston. He's so awesome. They basically beat the crap out of him for the majority of the match. Brandon Cutler at one point sprays, like when they're all outside, Brandon Cutler comes up to Matt Jackson and sprays him with spray tan, like, which was hilarious because he's got to make sure Matt Jackson looks as. Can we say douchey? Is douchey a bad word? I'm gonna go with
Toolbag.
yes.
Douchey.
He looks just to make Matt Jackson look as silly as possible. So where am I? Oh yeah, so Kingston gets beat down the entire time, and then he finally hits a pretty cool short arm belly to belly suplex, which that was a good spot. So he gets the hot tag. Kazarian cleans house until Anderson hits another nice spine buster. This was the night of spine busters.
Run-ins and spine busters.
And run-ins. Actually, the run-ins were kind of kept to a minimum this time. I was very proud of it.
So I think it's funny though that when I go, because I read the dirt sheets and stuff on Squared Circle on Reddit, and their post match discussion or post AEW discussion includes a sidebar of post match brawl, yes or no, for each match.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah, people are seeing what we're seeing.
And yet, like, eventually people are going to be like, all right, guys, like, we can only take, Sean Spears coming in so many times to break up everything, and someone coming in from the front so someone else can Pearl Harbor. Like, change it up, please. So far, though, yeah, it's getting a little worrisome. Anyways, so in the match, there's this great sequence where everyone hits their finisher on Matt Jackson.
Yes.
It was a nice little sequence.
That was good, yeah.
Crowd was going nuts. They loved it. But finally what happens is Carl Anderson gets the pin with a super cutter off the top rope after Nick Jackson takes the spray tan.
Yeah,
it sprays Penta in the face.
Are they calling that anything yet?
They call it a spray tan.
They call it spray tan? Okay, yeah. Because remember, what was it? Essence? Is that what Rick Martel used to have the bottle? It was Essence.
Arrogance.
Arrogance.
The
Yes.
little stupid like bug sprayer.
Yeah. It had the little round thing on it with the little. Like,
why was it in a bug sprayer? Like, that's what like cartoon characters used to kill bugs.
I mean, would you rather have it in a dripstick?
I'm sure we'll get to that dripstick later on too. Where am I? Oh yeah, so that was that match, and so those three storylines were pretty good in AEW. Rest of the rest, promo with Frankie Kazarian, Penta, and Eddie Kingston. The Cero Miedo chant in that promo was one. Promo with Team Taz, and this time Taz looks like Garfield, like the cat Garfield.
Does he like lasagna?
I'm assuming that he does.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he had like this orange and black. Like he always wearing orange and black, but this one was very Garfield-y. Orange Cassidy beats Cesar Banani.
Banani.
Thank you.
Banani.
I know how to read.
Banoni.
He used to be in NXT for a little while.
He did. Mm-hmm. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky beat Darby Allin, obviously, because it was 2-on-1. He tried. It was actually a pretty good match. He did like 50 coffin drops.
Yeah.
So there was a segment with Omega and Jungle Boy. Omega gets out a fake picnic basket and has 2 knuckle sandwiches for Jungle Boy.
Yeah. Picnic basket?
That's just money right there. Got a knuckle sandwich for Jungle Boy. And what's this? Another knuckle sandwich for Jungle Boy.
That's on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
their match
on Saturday.
Yep.
Jake the Snake promo, always good. Promo with Matt Hardy, where he puts Christian Cage in a cage.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So there's a sit-down interview with Andrade, which was awesome.
Yeah.
He looks just like a star. Like, I can't wait for him to get in the
looks
ring.
like a straight gangster boss.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, like he needs a cigar. That's all he needs, man. He's good to go.
I love that they're highlighting his, because Vince tends to avoid accents because he can't understand them because he's an old-timey, like, racist bastard, basically. So I love that they're like highlighting his accent, like they're making it like part of the interview was in like English, and then he spoke part of it in Spanish, and it was great. So up next, Penelope Ford beats Julia Hart. Miro cuts a promo. Love it.
We call that Spanglish in Texas, by the way.
Yes. Wait, I thought Spanglish was like when you're speaking intermixed Spanish and
yeah,
English.
that's what we call it. Yeah. So like it'd be like Spanish, English word, and
then Spanish.
Yeah.
Rest of the rest. Promo with Hangman Page and Dark Order is great. And then there was a great video package with FTR, who I love, and Ortiz and Santana. And then Jade Cargill does a thing again. Overall, yay.
Two thumbs up?
It was definitely not the Commander Aziz
Right.
thumb. It was 2 thumbs up. Good episode.
Let me say this about AEW, and then we'll move on. I feel like we're clearly Pinnacle is heels, Inner Circle are faces. I think that's where we're going here.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to highlight a little bit of the background of Pride and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like you're seeing a little bit of the family side, a little bit of them, like they're kind of, and then what happened with MJF? What did he say there at the end to get like super heat? In that promo, something at the end was really nasty. Like,
why didn't I write that down? Because I remember
he said
exactly what you're talking about.
Like he said something there at the end that was, like I was kind of like, oh, they're definitely going heels with them. So
MJF is super heel.
Oh man, he's so good. Guy's so good. All right, Primo. Going to go over Raw and NXT, but first, Sunday night was Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on Peacock. Yes. If you can just read the results, and
I will do that,
and we'll move on because this was super.
There is something one thing I do want to talk about.
Sure.
It'll be quick, but okay. Go ahead.
Let's start Hell in a Cell results. Mandy Rose versus Natalya with Natalya, the winner. That was because she was on Dirty's list. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins. Seth Rollins wins clean.
Yeah, clean.
KO versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn victorious.
How about that? Clean as well.
Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler with Nia and Reggie in tow.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss. Winner!
So, here is what I want to talk about. If Alexa Bliss has voodoo powers, which she does,
clearly,
why wouldn't she just be like, "Hey, Shayna Baszler, woo!" And then Shayna Baszler lays down and Alexa Bliss pins her.
Only works on Reggie.
But what about it worked on Nia too?
Juju only works.
Oh yeah, that's true. And Nia. Nia used to be best friends with her. They have a connection.
True, yes. So like in all the awfulness in this pay-per-view, and there was a lot of awfulness, that bothered me the most. The fact that Alexa Bliss has Juju now. She has voodoo powers, and she's using it to not take anything in her match and make it useful, but to make Nia Jax slap Reggie. Sure.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like, not the fact that she has voodoo powers, but the fact that she doesn't use them in her match. That is what my issue is.
I'm the boogeyman.
Right.
Okay, that's all. I'm done with this pay-per-view for the rest of my life.
All right, so moving on, Hell in a Cell match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Bianca Belair victorious, retains her championship.
Ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong. Raw Women's Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, where Rhea Ripley takes advantage of championship advantage and Charlotte wins via disqualification. Hell in a Cell match between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. stipulation was title versus last chance. Drew McIntyre lost his last chance. Bobby Lashley is the winner. And that was Hell in the Cell. Thank you for that pay-per-view.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre lost no last chances. Everyone knows he's gonna get like 8 more chances once the fans come back.
Yeah. Or once the belt changes, he'll be like, oh, new competitor. I can wrestle him 10 times in the next few months.
Well, I mean, it's against Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The stip is against Lashley. All right. Well, that was an awful Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Hopefully,
that was bad.
And that was the last one without fans.
I think that's. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that helps too. So I was ready to get past it just for that simple fact. Like when it was coming on, I was already like not looking forward to it because I'm just ready for fans. So, all right, moving on. Primo Monday Night Raw
or Hell in a Cell Jr.
Hell in a Cell Jr.
Hell in a Cell Jr. It definitely could be called that.
Show begins with victorious almighty Bobby Lashley arriving to the ring with MVP and their ladies. Bobby says that Drew at his best still was not good enough to beat the Almighty. MVP reiterates that Drew can never challenge the WWE for the WWE title again as long as Bobby's champion. As they prepare to toast to the championship, them retaining it, New Day comes out. It's a new day, yes it is. They exchanged words, and my favorite thing first of all, I've always loved the New Day, and I always loved them on the mic. And I think they don't get enough credit for their mic skills sometimes, but even the small stuff that makes me laugh, because I love the fact that Kofi calls Bobby Lashley Bob.
Yeah, Bob Lashley.
Bob Lashley.
Bob Lashley. God dang it, Bob.
Isn't that what Rusev used to do, though? Call him Bob?
Disrespect, yeah. Yeah, so I love that, and I mean, they go into a bunch. They threw toast at him. They threw actual toast.
Actual toast.
So they exchange words, and Kofi reminds Bobby that he actually did beat him. Kofi challenges Bobby to a match at Money in the Bank, and Bobby very quickly, like without hesitation, he grabbed the mic. I accept, just like that. Before MVP could even consult him about it, he was like, "No, I'm done with this. I'm done with you even thinking that you could have beat me without Drew McIntyre interfering." So in the meantime, Bobby set his sights on Xavier, and he basically talked about how Xavier's too busy playing video games and stuff. And then Xavier's real quick to remind him he's 11-time tag team champion. He's got over 2 million subscribers. He didn't even throw into the fact, the whole PhD thing.
Yeah, that's a thing as well.
Yeah. That's what I would have been like. You'd be like, you're talking to,
I'm a doctor.
Exactly. Shut your mouth, Dr. Bob.
It's Dr. Woods, actually, Bob.
So then Xavier, he comes back and says, you know what? This match is going to happen in a Hell in the Cell, which is magically still hanging over the ring from the night before.
Weird. It's like they planned that.
Man, it's there. They might as well use it.
Ring crew was feeling lazy that night. After Bobby defeats Xavier inside Hell in a Cell, obviously, via Hurt Lock after the match, Bobby continues to attack Xavier Woods because MVP is able to run inside and chain the door, and Kofi's forced to watch his tag team partner get obliterated with the Hurt Locker pressed against the cage wall.
Did you guys notice that Xavier Woods could have absolutely fit through that hole that in the cage door? Like he had to do a lot of selling to not.
Oh, you mean Kofi? Kofi, yeah.
Yeah, Kofi.
Yeah, because he was like almost jumping through it.
Yeah, because he was like halfway through, and he's like, like backs out.
It's like, oh, I'm not supposed to go through there.
I can't. I'm not supposed to fit this. But MVP locked it like a goon, so there's 9 feet of space.
That was our main storyline on Raw. Real quick, I'll go through a couple other things. It's just it's a little refreshing. We're moving forward to Money in the Bank and the first fan pay-per-view since WrestleMania. So they started the qualifying matches.
Yep.
Ricochet defeated AJ Styles to advance, so there's one. Ricochet.
Interesting.
John Morrison defeats Randy Orton to advance. That's two.
Also interesting.
Johnny Drip Drip.
Johnny Drip Drip.
Riddle defeats Drew McIntyre to advance. That's three. So we each show will get 4 men to advance. Therefore, next week they have decided already that the 3 losers, AJ, Drew, and Randy, will get to have a triple threat match to determine that 4th position. So these 3 guys that are like supposed to all win anyway get a second chance. And,
so, does anyone want to put money on Drew McIntyre winning that match?
I'd say Randy.
I was thinking Randy too, to be honest.
Really?
Especially with the whole thing about Riddle winning, and then Randy being so ticked off that he wouldn't even dap up Riddle about it.
Yeah, he did get kind of mad.
Yeah.
Like something's gonna. I don't know. Like I just feel like Randy's gonna be in that match. Something's gonna happen where Matt wins the briefcase and Randy gets mad, or vice versa, or something. I don't know. Yeah,
I do really, really hope that Riddle wins the briefcase. I think he'd be fantastic.
That'd be good.
It'd be great.
And,
he would turn that into gold.
I was thinking this too when they showed the backstage interaction between before both of their matches, and Riddle's kind of tall, right?
Yeah,
I think he's.
Yeah,
Randy is like a foot taller than he is.
Yes, he is. Randy's like 6'5".
I was like, holy cow, dude! Like he was looking down at Riddle. I'm just like, I didn't realize. I mean, I know they're all tall, but they all look like,
comparative.
Yeah, because they're all tall. So next to me they would be giants, but because I'm 5'8", but. And then moving on, we also had the women's Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Asuka and Naomi advanced when they defeated Eva Marie, and when they showed the graphic, it was Eva Marie and her partner, she later on says is Doudrop. Which Piper tries to tell her name, and she's like, "This Doudrop."
Yeah, no, it's Doudrop.
So they lose, and the other 2 females women wrestlers that will be moving on will be Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross in her superhero outfit.
She is a superhero, which I think might be fun.
She's like Molly Holly superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
They defeated Shayna and Nia, thank goodness, to advance. So that was Monday Night Raw. And we had qualifying matches and then the storyline with Bobby and the New Day.
Did you guys see when Riddle chased the Miz around the ring in his on his scooter?
Yes, and that was what caused Randy to lose. It was distracting, yeah.
Yeah, it was a slow chase. I was trying to look for the picture I had with me and Matt Riddle.
You got a picture with Matt Riddle?
Yeah.
How tall are you? Like 6'3", 6'4"?
6'4". Yeah, I was trying to see if he was as tall as me. Yeah, it's somewhere.
Why are you 6'4"?
Just throw it out there. Oh yeah, 6'4", no big deal.
No big deal.
Who are 5'8" on a good day?
Yeah.
If I have shoes on, I'm 5'8".
So I put on my cowboy boots. I'll be 5'9". Okay.
But I don't have cowboy boots. What am I supposed to do?
That's what it says on my driver's license.
I think it says 5'9" on mine too.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, looks like we're somewhat taller, the same.
Oh yeah.
So he might be like 6'3".
Yeah. There we go. Yep.
Look how tall I am.
I got a video too of Riddle. I have to show one day of when
Are you guys talking about how tall you each are?
Yeah,
he's 6'2".
We get together and make fun of small people. and
people under 6 foot.
Yep, we throw donut holes at small kids.
Me, AJ, and Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
we're giants standing next to Rey Mysterio. He's like,
so that was Raw, Primo. Last one of the night, man. A pretty good NXT last night. Yep.
So before I get into this, I want to see if you guys have noticed this. I only noticed this because I was perusing the web and I happened to stumble upon this. Real quick.
Okay.
Did you guys know that main event, WWE main event, the show, is kind of being used as like a proving or testing ground for NXT wrestlers?
Really?
So here recently they've had appearances by both Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah.
And Jeff Hardy. Don't forget Jeff Hardy. also on main event. Maybe
Yeah,
that's why he was on main event, to put over the new guys.
I have a theory for him later too. Don't let me forget that. I have all kinds of theories floating around this brand. So anyway, on to the NXT show opener. We have Adam Cole coming out. He has a scheduled matchup. Adam Cole was supposed to come out and pick his opponent. He says he's not going to come out and fall in line just because Samoa Joe's around now. And no one's going to come change his mind. Out comes Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes comes out and gives him the ruthless aggression.
Yeah, and he said it like that too.
Like the old John Cena Kurt Angle
Yep,
thing.
John
Right.
Cena.
And he smacks the spit out of Adam Cole right after he does it too. So Adam Cole ends up coming away with the victory, but it was a good match. I think it might have went through 2 or 3 commercial breaks. It was good.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, it's Adam Cole, and we've already seen that Carmelo can go because he went with Kushida a couple weeks ago. So then afterwards, we see Regal tell Cole backstage there is no animosity between him and Cole, or him and Samoa Joe, so just drop it. But of course, Adam Cole's being holding grudge. But Samoa Joe, that was his job. He told him, you touched him and he had to check you out. So maybe don't touch him next time.
Right.
So next up, they show a video
Maybe.
package
Just
of maybe how about you don't put your hands on the one guy you're not supposed to provoke. So next up, they show a video package of the new $1 million champion, talking about how he doesn't need the old man riding his coattails, saying
Nice.
he's gonna drop Cameron Grimes on his head again, just like that fall he made him take it.
You thought that was bad. Let me talk to you.
Yeah,
Let me talk to you. The new $1 million champion, L.A. Knight, brother.
L.A. Knight.
So
Nope.
That-
refuse.
Whose game is it? I love that line.
that's right. Whose game is it?
It's L.A.
L.A.
Knight's game.
game, baby.
I like that.
So he talks about putting Cameron Grimes on his head again, but then later on in the show, we see another clip from earlier in the day of Cameron Grimes arriving. I don't know who the other superstar was, but another superstar greets him. He's like, "Hey, man, what's up?" Welcomes him. He's like, hanging out with old man DiBiase or what, or something
Yep.
like that. And
Yep.
Cameron Grimes quickly takes offense to that and just lays him out.
I will say this. That is Alex Zane, by the way.
Okay.
Indie wrestler, one that had the colors in his hair.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Indie wrestler. I was shocked because I did not know that he had been signed by NXT. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe it's a one-off. I don't know. Alex Zane, extreme wrestler, backyard wrestler. He's really gotten hot over the last 2 years. He was in the Scenic City Invitational in 2019. FYI.
Nice.
Yep.
So he gets laid out by Cameron Grimes because he took offense to the old man comment. Apparently he does have a soft spot for Ted, even though he picked L.A. Knight over him. Moving on, we had The Way. So the Way. Do you think there maybe a face turn for The Way?
What was they doing? What was he doing? What was he doing? Yeah,
I thought he was doing like a bird. Like that's what, I thought he was.
This is the way to fly away.
So The Way's in the ring. Johnny says there's new management. He's all hyped up about this new management, and we need a new champion. Says he can out wrestle Cross on his worst day. I believe him. Interrupt, and they end up. So they talk on, and it get interrupted by Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. Pete Dunne comes out and says, "Johnny, you must be mad if you think that you are a number one contender over me, being Pete Dunne." Johnny says, "Whoa, man, The Way, we're law-abiding citizens now. We don't want any of this trouble. We don't want to partake in chaos and shenanigans anymore." He says, we're not going to fight you right now. And they get out of the ring. So they go backstage. Usually they bust through Regal's door. Now they knock on the door. They come in. I think Johnny Gargano puts a pencil in his pencil holder.
Uh-huh.
And he's just talks about it. And they end up getting a match with Dunn and Lorcan. The Way is able to pull off victory against Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan without even losing Johnny's headband.
Yeah, he had it the
Oh,
whole
I
time.
know.
The
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah. Immediately afterwards, as they're walking backwards up the stage during their victory, Karrion Kross attacks Johnny from behind and lays him out.
Mm.
The
No.
final point of NXT was the Dream match. Dream match. I don't know. It was between
Dream Bell.
Kushida and Cool Kyle. 10-minute
Yep.
match.
Dream match.
It was a 10-minute match. They went back and forth. I mean, it was a good match for 10 minutes that it was. Kyle wins. They show some respect afterwards. After the fact, Kyle spots Adam Cole coming in. Then they begin the brawl until they're pulled apart by security. Meanwhile, in the ring, you see a hooded, guy with a hoodie over his head laying out Kushida in the ring. Turns out to be none other than Roddy Strong,
Righty.
and he's flanked by Tyler Rust and Hideki Suzuki, and they are now known as the Diamond Mine.
Diamond Mine.
Someone explained that name to me. I when they said that, I was like,
Well,
why?
he thinks he has a stable of diamonds because
But
that one West kid, whatever.
Tyler Rust. He had
Rust.
a motto or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the
Diamond in the Rust or something like
Diamond
that.
in the Rust.
Diamond in
Yeah.
the Rust.
Yeah.
That
Tracksuits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They did have tracksuits.
They already got
Ripping
matching
your
gear.
boy. Yeah, I have matching gear.
The Titantron logo.
Is this Roddy's new faction? Is he gonna be the boss here?
Yeah, he's the man now. I mean, they needed something after Undisputed isn't there no more, so we need that. We need to fill that void.
Did y'all feel like way this ended, like Adam Cole was getting moved up?
Yeah,
I felt
did.
that way. I felt that way.
I think he'll be in the. I think he'll be in the Money in the Bank match, or we'll see him on main event.
I hope so because Adam Cole and a ladder is. I'll watch that all night long, man.
Yep.
That
It's
was
great.
great stuff, man. Great stuff. All right, Primo, is that it for NXT?
Yes, sir. That is your WWE recap.
All right. Let's get to the fun part of the show here. I just said fun fart.
Fun part. Ask my kids. Farts are fun.
Part of the show here.
And why did we laugh?
I don't know.
We're all
Because
children.
we're grown men and we are immature.
Go look at this graphic while we laugh hysterically over the word fart.
At the word fart.
All right, so today's Dropkick discussion is our top 5 favorite wrestler entrances of all time. This is going to be fun. I've always kind of looked forward to this one. So when doing this criteria, we come up with entrances.
Yep,
The
get it
light,
ready.
The lights, the video, the music, the fan interaction, the big pop, the pomp and circumstance. Are you glued to that wrestler? Blah blah blah. So yeah, our top 5 favorite wrestler entrances. Who wants to start us off here, boys? At number 5, Primo, take it, buddy.
I want to say first before we get really into this. We could do a whole nother one of these. First
Yeah.
of all, I could have done a top 10.
Yep,
Sure.
me too.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
But we could do a whole nother one of these with just the music.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, my number 5, if anybody saw my TikTok or my IG today, you would have heard the Slow Chemical by Finger 11. Kane, my guy. I liked both his original entrance with his classic music, and of course, I really marked out for the Finger 11 remix of his song. That was awesome, and it's iconic. You see the flames come up and the red lights go down. Kane's coming out, and it was always cool whenever he'd be gone for a couple months, and then suddenly, usually around the Rumble, he'd come back, and we'd see that red, those red lights, and then them flames shoot up. Of course, him getting in the ring, and then dropping the arms in the 4 posts would go up in flames. Kane's entrance for me is number 5.
There it is.
All right, AJ, number 5.
I do like Kane's entrance a lot. So I first have an honorable mention that I didn't want to put on my list because I didn't want you guys to make fun of me and be like, you would put that on there. But number 5, honorable mention quick to Shinsuke Nakamura because I love his song. I love the this is why we needed to do like a top 10.
Yeah.
Like the way he enters the ring, he's just charisma. That's all Shinsuke
Oh,
is,
man.
and his like everything about it awesome. But
Undead is a good one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh,
but I didn't even think about that when he mentioned. But you go ahead.
So number 5, all this guy was an entrance. He was horrible in the ring. I've already done one of his promos, and it's total gibberish. Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
All he was an entrance. Like that music hit, the crowd would go absolutely mental, and then he would hit the ring and shake the ropes, and he would always sprint. And I remember like one of my first, actually I think it was my very first house show that I've ever went to. I don't think he's
run.
There it is. Yeah, I almost just stood up and started running around my room. So the very first house show we went to, Ultimate Warrior was feuding with Rick Rude at the time, and I remember when his music hit, everyone just absolutely went nuts, and then he comes sprinting out, and it's still like anytime I watch old matches, I will skip the actual match, but always watch the Ultimate Warrior's entrance. So number 5,
good pick.
Hulk Hogan.
All right, well, for me, number 5, boys, I'm gonna kick it back, old school. But like I said, man, this one was hard. I looked at my top 5, I reworked it, I looked at it again, I reworked it. I mean, you could keep
like
doing.
I said,
this.
we could have done top 10.
Yeah. It even come down to a few things where I went to YouTube and started Googling entrances to kind of watch them over to see what I felt. But all right, guys. But for me, I'm gonna talk about my honorable mentions later. Me at number 5 was the biggest entrance of my childhood. Really, there's a reason why they call it the Road Warrior Pop. There's a reason why they helped kind of solidify entrances, because now they did have a bunch of different songs, but the one that I mostly pinned together is Iron Man by what's the Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath, yeah. That's the one. That's the one I immediately think of when you said Road Warrior Pop.
Yeah, so when Iron Man hit, I am Iron Man. Mm-hmm. They didn't come out and look at the crowd. They didn't come out and stand and smell and any of that stuff. They hit the ring, man, and it was butt whooping time right off the get go. You better watch them run into the ring, because when they got there, they cleaned house. Road Warrior Pop. Everybody went nuts when the music came on, because they know somebody was about to get their A kicked shortly. So for me, number 5, man, these guys got to be on the list of entrances, because they kind of helped make it popular. Road Warriors, number 5. Primo, number 4.
Number 4, before we get there, I want to say I didn't even mention my honorable mention. I forgot to do that because it's not on my paper. My honorable mention would be
Ronnie Garvin.
Would be No More
Greg the
Words.
Valentine.
Jeff Hardy. He's not on my top 5, but he would have been he's on my list of honor. He's down there in the bottom 5.
I can't even do his dance right now because I'm sitting down.
We're going to go, my number 4 would have to be, let's see.
Time to play the game.
That's right. Triple H, baby. You know it. So, I mean, obviously, the pop when he was a face. Think of go back and watch his return in 2002. When that music hits the crowd, when he comes out with the hybrid leather jean jacket.
Yes.
That pop was crazy for him. But no, I loved, first of all, not so much the old the when he was the, what do you call that? The yuppie guy.
Oh,
the British.
he was the French dandy.
Yeah. Not so much that one, but my time was awesome. Probably one of my favorites. The second one, that one.
Time to play the game. It's all about
music,
the game.
the fact that he has Motorhead singing everything. So the music, the light show, I mean, obviously he interacts with the water spitting,
Yeah.
the face making, and of
Synchronized,
course,
like it's synchronized, like
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
He waits,
Yep.
and then he spits the water. But then, of course, later on in his career, as he became the boss, he had King of Kings. So yeah,
I
behold the King of Kings.
And I love, like, they kept the production on him kept just ramping up and ramping
Exactly.
up. Like, that's one of the
So-
things you look forward to at WrestleMania.
Right.
Is Triple H.
And that's another thing. We could do a WrestleMania interest one another time.
I
But
know
yeah,
it'd be a completely different.
he always had
category.
good ones too. The Terminator, the Throne, all those. Anyway, Triple H is my number 4.
good one.
So my number 4 has already been mentioned. Stupid lumberjack. That's the Firefly Bray Wyatt song.
So good. I forgot about that.
It's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have been to house shows. Like, I mean, it looks cool on TV when all the lights go down and everyone gets their phones out. And I'm
Yep.
sure you guys have been to house shows when it happens, but it is so cool when you're sitting in that completely dark arena. And that song is great. It's called
Yeah.
Live in Fear by Mark Crozer.
Yep.
And Bray Wyatt picked that himself, which it was great.
Oh, I love that, man.
But, like, being in the crowd, like, when everyone, like, lights go off and everyone has their cell phones out and waving them back and forth, that is always, I mean, obviously not a thing anymore, but whenever we went to house shows, that was always be my favorite thing about, no matter who was on the card. As long as Bray Wyatt was there, I'm like, yes, the Bray Wyatt entrance.
I gotta say, I'm a fan of that, and I'm also a big fan of, because I like hard rock, so I'm a big fan of the Fiends remix of that song too.
I like that a lot
Yeah.
too. And I was gonna pick one or the other, and when I was thinking about which one Bray Wyatt that I wanted, and I was like, I gotta go with Firefly.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt. But plus, he has, like, I love the lantern with the stupid smoke coming out of it. I mean, we don't need Dirty anymore. Like, he already gave his number 5, so I mean, that's hey Dirty, welcome back. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking for a minute until.
Of course, and I mean, he had the whole thing though, because it was once he had the Wyatt family, they had the rocking chair, they had the lantern,
Yeah.
they had all the fireflies. There was a whole thing, like,
You guys see me now?
yeah, and he just
Yes.
Thank you.
it was kind of like it gives you that's one of those that give you chills.
Yeah, like it gives you like little goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like whenever.
Another thing I want to
it
say
happens.
real quick about Kane earlier. How many times have you pooped your pants when he does that boom, at a live show? Like, how
That's
loud is that live?
Crazy.
You know,
Yeah, it's nuts.
I've never seen Kane at a live show.
Wow.
That makes me sad.
It's probably not going to happen then. Let's
Well, he has mayoral duties now that he has to.
True. All right, guys. For my number 4, I went hometown.
Yep.
Tell me you don't get goosebumps listening to this.
Actually,
Okay. I'm redoing my list.
That's my number 4. I've always loved that entrance. It's adrenaline pumping.
Yeah.
Just like it just gets me fired up.
I love that.
One of my favorite entrances of all time is when the Hardy Boys came back at WrestleMania. Nobody knew they was there.
Gosh.
I love that whole behind the scenes thing that they did, where they kept them in a bus. Nobody knew they were coming out, and the New Day introduced them. The New Day didn't even know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. So
I
number 4, the Hardy Boys.
Recently, actually, just watched another one of those clips, but it was from with inside the crowd, and the reaction is explosive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's great. It's great. All right, Primo, start us off with our top 3.
Number 3, you can't talk about entrances without this number 3 on there. He would be on most people's number 1s, but he's not on mine. He went on number 3, and that is The Undertaker.
Number 3 for the Undertaker.
So
Interesting.
I love the Dead Man. He's a fellow Texan. Of course, not in the Undertaker persona, but the whole thing. I mean, it's a production with him. Like, you want to talk about production. You have the smoke, the fog. You have, which way? Where's he coming from? He's coming from under the ring. Is he coming from the lightning?
Yeah.
He's coming. Everything. The slow, intimidating walk to the ring. The blue lights.
Yeah.
Also, on the flip side, I was a big fan of Big Evil, Biker Taker.
Huh.
The motorcycle. Motorcycles are my family, so it's like motorcycles. Big. I love that too. But most importantly, his Dead Man uh, entrance is obviously it will go down. It's historic with WWE. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's afforded more time than any entrance ever, and rightfully so. Like he
right,
milks it. Like he
that's
milks
a
it more than
solid
Triple H.
like I swear sometimes it's one of those if you skip ahead and you skip like 5-10 minutes, it's still going.
It's still going.
Oh yeah, yeah. When the gong hits, I can go to the bathroom, make a sandwich, and
Take the garbage out.
Yeah, take the garbage out and take my dog for a walk and come back, and he'll still be standing in the smoke.
He's just now walking out.
Right, yeah. All right, AJ, number 3.
So number three for me is so simple that I'm not even really going to talk about it all that much. When you hear glass break, crowd goes nuts.
They do.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin has a bigger reaction with just glass breaking. I love it. So I was never the biggest Stone Cold fan growing up. I mean, I liked him a lot, but I was always more in the Rock's camp. Like it's like the Beatles versus get that pen out of here. The Beatles. It's like the Beatles versus the Rolling Stones. You kind of side with one or the other.
Right.
To me, it was always either Rock or Stone Cold, and I always picked the Rock. But again, that glass breaking, and I was gonna get a glass and smash it on my floor because I don't have any music queued up or anything. But I thought that would be unnecessary. So yeah, number 3, Stone Cold Steve Austin, just for that glass break. That's it. Biggest pop ever out of fans on a simple glass break.
All right, when we got into these top 3, man, I had to really put my heart aside because I want to put Ric Flair at the top of everything wrestling ever.
I'm sorry, really quick, Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene. He's my number 3. I was getting to it. If you'll let me finish here, please. we might got Primo. We about to spit his rowdy out. All right. For me, number 3, the man, the myth, the legend. When you went to a wrestling show, if this guy was on the card, he was probably in the main event. The kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun, jet riding, limousine flying, all that stuff, man. Flair. Now, 2001 Odyssey was the music he came out to, but it was simple. It was lights. It was smoke. It was music. It always felt important when Rick came to the ring, like you were really seeing somebody, like you were really seeing the best of the best. The way he carried himself. The way he interacted with the women. Simple but very pomp and circumstance. And the entrances got a little more elaborate as he got to WWE. But for me, at number 3, man, I had to get Rick in there just because of the way I felt. When the music came on, and Rick Steamboat standing in the ring waiting on him, or Sting, and Rick is milking it. He's taking his time walking. He's wooing. When it's time for Rick to come to the ring, everybody's already been wooing 15 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean? So
you see the big crowd sign, the woo.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So number 3, man, got to put Rick in there.
I do have a quick story about Ric Flair's entrance in music. So, obviously, there's no internet back when we were children, but I remember reading in one of the magazines that Ric Flair used the music from 2001: A Space Odyssey, and so I was desperate to watch that movie again. I was 8 years old. So my mom, she saw that it was PG, so she rented it for us. And I watched that movie, didn't get it. It was very disappointing. Yeah. I was 8. 8-year-olds should not be watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. But
I want to say, go ahead.
I loved it the first 10 minutes just because it was Ric Flair music. That's all it was. Thus Spake Zarathustra is the actual name of the song, but
Yeah.
Like it was. I love. Like I watched the first 10. Like you have to rewind the video cassette. And
Right.
so I watched that. Like I got our rental price out of that.
Say,
'Cause the rest of the movie was
run it
garbage.
before you turn it back into
You
Blockbuster.
what you
Yes.
Be Kind Rewind.
I worked
Yeah.
at Blockbuster, by the way. It's the greatest job ever.
All right, let me say this real quick, and then we'll move on to number 2. Macho Man, not on my top 5, but
Mine
his
either.
entrance was always similar to me with Flair's
Yep.
because he had the graduation song, right?
Pomp and circumstance.
Pomp and circumstance. Okay,
Yeah.
but it was simple. He walked out with the robe. He had the glasses. Elizabeth, glitter flying. It was similar. You know what I mean? In the sense that you felt like you were watching somebody popular, famous. Like it was simple, and like it meant everything to me just to watch Macho walk to the ring, and put his taped finger up in the air and do the
spin and
like it was so simple, but perfect, and nonetheless, it gets me in my feels is what I'm trying to say. Gets me in my wrestling feels. All right, here we go. Primo, let's roll on to number 2.
Number 2. All I gotta say for number 2, I got a question. Are you ready? DX. I mean, you got the screen overlay with the bridge blowing up and the girls and the gate. You got all that. You got Shawn and Triple H coming out, or else you got Triple H and the rest of the gang, the rest of the Scooby Gang, the Mystery Gang, coming out. Now, DX, their entrance, first of all, that song alone will get you hyped up.
Yeah.
Break it down. Exactly. Except for when they came out and played it live. It was... Yeah. But other than that, it always got me hyped up. And it was awesome. And everything, neon green you can think of. So, DX is my number 2 entrance.
All right. AJ?
So, my number 2 is also not my number 1. That made sense in my head when I said it, because I was assuming that everyone was going to have the same number 1, but it's that streak has already, or that idea has already been shattered by Primo.
Streak?
I don't know. I just
streak with the
this gentleman was on a streak.
Yeah.
Hercules Hernandez. No.
Kane.
So Undertaker, number 2. Like I thought that him not being number 1 was going to be controversial. So I'm glad that someone already beat me to the not having him at number 1 punch. So yeah, we've already said everything that needs to be said about Taker's entrance. Like, I don't care how long it is. It's one of those things. Like, how there's some like TV shows that when you watch the beginning, you always watch the opening credits with
right. Yeah.
Like with Game of Thrones, I was like that. I always watch the opening credits.
Yeah.
This is like that with Taker. I never skip the Taker entrance,
and
I still won't if he ever comes out again. So number 2 is the Undertaker.
All right.
And if you want to throw American Badass Taker in there too, you can as well.
For me, we've already talked about my number 2. Oh, hell yeah! But number 2, man, Stone Cold. He gets the adrenaline pumping. When the glass breaks, you knew somebody was going to get popped. So for me, number 2. All right, Primo, let's get these number 1s out of the way. Who is our top 5 or number 1 top entrance of all the times?
Of all the times. I'm going to go 5-1.
Okay.
Kane, number 5. 4, Triple H. 3, Undertaker. 2, which is the only faction on my list, DX.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, I am a real American. Just kidding. It's Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold all day long. The glass breaks. It's not Hulk Hogan. No, it's not. Stone Cold, the glass breaks. As JR would say, business is about to pick up.
That's right.
He comes out. When you hear that glass break, as he's coming out on a mission.
Yeah.
How many times you seen that glass break, and he comes out, beelines the ring, lays a whooping on everybody in there, stomps a mud hole, if you will, and then just talks some trash, drinks a couple Steve Weisers, and then makes exit. So I mean, yeah, obviously, and also a fellow Texan.
Yep.
I've heard that before.
Big fan. Stone Cold, you're my hero. All right, thank you. That's my number one.
All right, good deal. AJ.
So number 5. Turn the plane into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan. I really need to learn that whole promo so I can just not do that same line over and over again. Number 4, Firefly, Bray Wyatt. Number 3, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 2, The Undertaker. And number 1, I am a real American. No, I'm just kidding. Number 1 is Finn Balor. Finn Balor is absolutely my
wow. Okay, Finny.
Yeah.
Both.
Finny.
I couldn't pick between normal Finn Balor and Demon Finn Balor because
Yeah.
normal Finn Balor is awesome enough where he does the like
the leather jacket, he's coming out. Yeah,
I like the
flips
demon
the
because of the
collar.
heartbeat and stuff. Like,
and then you have the Demon where he's
Yeah.
crawling through the smoke and
the red
Yeah.
light.
and the red light and the heartbeat and it's like a warped version of his awesome entrance music.
Did y'all see the Jack the Ripper one from NXT?
Yeah, from NXT when they were in London.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. I mean, he has had some silly demons. Like, remember when he was like Mr. Pumpkin Face with Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
It was silly.
Yeah.
But both of those get me more hyped. Like, I'll be at home by myself watching, NXT. Well, not NXT, but the old NXT when he was on before, and it hit and I would do it like every single time.
I do it too. I'm not ashamed.
No. We
All right,
laugh at the word fart and do the.
I interact like I'm part of the crowd. Okay.
I do too. I absolutely do too.
All right, so my top 5. First of all, I want to throw out some honorable mentions out there and have you guys react to them real quick. All right, entrances. Think entrances. Okay, ready? Goldberg.
I thought about Goldberg,
Okay.
but
NWO.
blowing the smoke.
Yep, NWO.
NWO. Yeah.
Lumberjack.
Black and white. Black and white.
Yeah, black and white. Yep.
Yeah.
How about Roddy Piper?
Oh,
with the bagpipes.
Yep,
I totally forgot
Yeah.
about Roddy Piper.
All right, yeah. Here's a couple of them. Rock. Rock.
if you smell. And also, he had the other one that was just like when he was the movie star.
Yeah.
It's cooking.
Yeah.
And then.
Next up, Edge.
So
Edge
I was
good.
gonna. He almost made my list just because I'm an Edge head.
Yep.
But I liked when he had the Rob Zombie song, and
Yeah.
then obviously when he got Metalingus from Alter Bridge, I really enjoyed
Never
that.
gonna stop you.
Yeah.
Never gonna
Yeah.
stop.
I
Exactly.
hated that Rob Zombie song. I hated it so much that it made me dislike Edge for a period of time.
All right.
My
a few-
Dracula.
Yep. A few more here. The Brood.
Well, none of us said the Brood. I thought for sure the Brood was going to
man.
make somebody's
Love
list,
the
but
Brood. You know what? It would probably make my number 6, honestly. But
Yeah.
going through Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Undertaker, Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior. We obviously. And here's one I'm gonna throw out that you guys might laugh at or whatever, just because it was different. It didn't last long. How about Adam Rose?
Adam
Remember him?
Rose with his
the Rose Train or whatever it was, the party train.
Yeah, it was
The Rose
different. It was
bunnies.
different. Yep. All right, so let's
what
get.
about like Doink? How about Doink Center? Remember Doink with like the creepy like circus music? That was
Circus music, yeah, it was
terrifying.
like scary clown music.
Yeah.
The
All right,
gobbledygooker.
so my 5 to 1 starting at 5 was the Road Warriors. 4 was the Hardy Boys. 3 was Flair. 2 was Stone Cold. Number 1 of all time, and I'm not kidding. I'm the real American.
Oh, man.
I still listen to this song when I cut the grass.
What is that remix?
Red and yellow, baby. It don't get much more hype than that. The red and yellow hits. USA, everybody in the arena goes wild.
Comes
There's
out.
no
He's
bigger
wearing the
hit
python.
than Hulk Hogan. Yep, pulling off the shirt, man.
Yeah.
That is where it's at, man.
I mean, that does kind of make you hyped up. Not gonna
It
lie.
does, man. It does.
It-
Like you feel pride.
Yeah.
It makes you think in your head, have I been eating my vitamins? Have I been
Yeah.
saying my prayers? Because I'm over here stretching and I'm just
It's like,
doing
well,
it.
do I look quite as good as Hulk?
Yeah. Like WrestleMania 3, man. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. And
like,
Hogan got pops before there was music.
yes,
Right.
he did.
Yeah, back when they were
And
just like rolling out to the ring.
Well, Hogan was the one who basically invented ring entrances. He didn't invent them, but he made them what they
He like pioneered them.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the dropkick discussion of the day. AJ is frozen.
going
there
back
you
and
are.
watch. Oh, was I gone?
You were for a second. You were
You
like,
were like, all right, you are back.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Hulk Hogan sucks now. He was great then, was the moral of the
I just love that we both mocked the Hulk Hogan.
I know, and it was actually Dirty's number one.
I'm virtually flipping you guys off right now. You just don't see it. All right. Well, that's the dropkick discussion of the week. Next week, we're going to come back with our top 3 SummerSlam pay-per-view. So, all right, guys, real quick, we're going to take about a 2-minute break here, and we'll be right back to finish up the show. Real quick, we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Back to the show here. Did you guys, anybody get to watch the Vice kind of, it wasn't really a documentary, it's kind of a biography really on China. It was pretty interesting. They had her sister on there talking. They talked about the just everything. They had a lot of home video and stuff like that, especially towards the end. It was really kind of dark, but really kind of opened your eyes to everything that China went through. And you guys see that?
I wish they would do a happier one. Like, I mean, I get that not a lot of wrestling stories end happily, but
right,
because
that was
just not interesting. I guess like the happy ones that retire and open used RV lots just
right
don't make compelling television.
Yeah, I mean that was not a dark side of the ring, but it was a very
Dark.
It
was.
All right, guys. Moving on. Will fans make SmackDown and Raw better, even though the storylines are awful?
Please.
I actually my
theory. Do you have a theory?
My theory is that they have been holding wrestlers back or making wrestlers look less than recently in an effort to push them forward when the fans are back. To for instance, Jeff Hardy has been getting he's been doing jobs for people lately. And but he has said publicly that when fans return, he's going to return to his No More Words theme song, which gets a big crowd reaction.
Yes.
So stuff like that, or other superstars that will, I think they'll start to shift the focus and start giving us hopefully better storylines. That that sometimes that crowd reaction is a gauge for them to kind of really sift through what's working and what's not working. So
I
think,
absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that they've been in just such a holding pattern because they know that the fans are returning, and like I think they've been continuing some of these storylines because they want to do it in front. Like the Cesaro and Seth Rollins, I think they're just doing a whole redo to see if Cesaro gets the same kind of reaction that he got at Mania. But I agree. I think they're holding everything back and giving us the same tripe week after week, just so when the live fans get back, they can be like, okay, here's the actual product that we can now present to you. Here's fresh storylines.
Yeah, I mean
they've had wow.
Yes,
they've had a year. These writers have had a year.
Yes,
And
that they can finally be like, all right, we're gonna put Nia Jax over here,
Right.
this in this area where you can't see her, and we're gonna give you fresh new storylines and characters and everything good.
Suddenly we care about Nia Jax, though.
You take it back right now.
All right, guys, it's time to introduce a new segment we're going to be doing here on the show. It's called Squared Circle Questions. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking questions to the fellow marks here. Everybody listening right now can play at home. What it is 3 categories, Squared Circle Questions, 3 categories. We're going to name that wrestler first. We're going to name that pay-per-view second. And then third is going to be called Wrestling Potpourri, to give a little shout to Jeopardy as a little question. So as we go through here, so as we start here with wrestler, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you facts. And when you think you know who the wrestler is, you're going to say that wrestler's name. But if you say wrong, you're out for the rest of the question. So think methodically about who you want to, your choice is going to be. So, all right, here we go. We're going to get started. First, name that wrestler. First fact, born 1969. No Googling, boys. No Googling. This wrestler was born in 1969. This wrestler is 6'6". This wrestler began wrestling in 1999. He is a 6-time world champion.
DDP. No, he's
You're
not a
wrong.
6-time world champion.
He's out. All right, AJ. He is a 4-time WWE tag champion. You can listen to the rest of them now. You can listen to the rest of them now, AJ.
I know who it is.
All right.
I figured it out.
All right, let me finish it up here. All right, he's 4-time WWE tag champion with Ric Flair, John Cena, and Rey Mysterio. He is billed out of Washington, D.C.
I should have waited.
He won the 2005 Royal Rumble. He headlined WrestleMania 21 versus Triple H. And your last fact is he was an actor in Guardians of the Galaxy. Who is this wrestler?
I believe that would be Eugene. Dave Bautista. It was
Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave Bautista.
Obviously, as you get to the end, it gets easier with
next time. I'm waiting for sure. That was premature.
All right.
He started earlier in '99.
I was just thinking, because older, and then so.
All right, category number 2. Name that pay-per-view. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you results of the matches, and then
we need to
start from the bottom to the top. All right, here we go. Name that pay-per-view. Brutus Beefcake beat Mr. Perfect.
Pre-show or main card? It doesn't matter.
There wasn't a pre-show back then. Rick Martel beat Coco Beware. Earthquake beat Hercules Hernandez. No, just Hercules Hernandez.
Not Hernandez?
It's Hernandez. Okay. The Hart Foundations beat the Bolsheviks. Dusty and Sapphire beat Savage and Sherry. All right, getting to the top here. Top of the card. Big Boss Man beat Akeem.
SummerSlam 90.
All right, Primo. Rick Rude beat Jimmy Snuka. This pay-per-view was held in the Sky Dome in Toronto. The Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan in the main event. Name that pay-per-view.
WrestleMania.
Yes. But
Which
one?
I'm trying to
one?
think. It's WrestleMania 6.
Yes. Bingo. Very good.
WrestleMania. Stupid 6.
I had to think
All
about that. Yeah, I had to think about that.
All right. So we're 1-1 here. Tiebreaker, boys, coming up.
Mm.
All right. Go ahead, guys. Going to have to think. All right. Here we go. Ready?
Put my thinking cap on.
Wrestling potpourri. Which wrestler has held the United States title the longest in any promotion in the accumulation of days? So basically, which wrestler in any promotion has had the U.S. title the longest? Who has the record for having it not continuous in total?
Who is Lex Luger?
That is right, Lex
God.
Luger. He was a 5-time champion, and he held the title for 950 days total.
Wow.
Lex Luger. Today's
my
squared
mid-card
circle
boy.
question winner is AJ.
I'm gonna make my own trophy now.
Here's where the
That's
cheesy
it. We need some music. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. That's fun.
All right, good deal. All right, we'll bring that back hopefully next week. So, but yeah, let's talk about next week. Actually, Big Beef Gnarls Garvin is going to be on the show. He is going to talk about the Scenic City Invitational. He is going to be in August 6th and 7th. So make sure you check out Big Beef, man. Go look up on YouTube his fight with Larry D in St. Louis Anarchy. He's had some awesome matches lately against Eli Everett. But his real big match to me breaking out was the 2019 SCI Future Showcase. So study up on Big Beef. We're going to talk to him next week, man. It's going to be an awesome show.
Yeah.
Want to thank also Rowdy and our new sponsor here, 1310 Apparel. That's 13, the word number 10, .bigcartel.com. Use promo code SPORT30 for 30% off your order. And we thank those guys for sponsoring the pod here. All right, so what we got next for pay-per-views? I know we got July 17th is Slammiversary for Impact. July 18th is Money in the Bank. So that's Saturday, Sunday, back-to-backs. Let's see what's coming up. What is it? Great American Bash that's next 2 weeks or something. Not a pay-per-view, but they kind of
Like
It's
a mini.
NXT. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a C pay-per-view.
Well, it's NXT does that from time to time. They'll have
Yeah.
like a
Like an enhanced weekly show kind of.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. AEW does it too, which is fun.
Right.
All right. Yep. All right, guys. Anybody's favorite champion? Any guys changed? I'm still Omega. I'm gonna stay with him.
I'm switching back to Roman.
Oh, weird. Yeah. I'm staying with Roman.
The Acknowledge Me shirt on.
I liked him I like watching him destroy Rey Mysterio. That was fun.
I like how a couple things. Number one, he is obviously manipulating his family, his cousins.
Uh-huh.
But I like the kind of heel he is right now, where he abuses his opponents.
Yes, he does. He brutalizes them.
That's what I was gonna say. He brutalizes them exactly, and also there is the promo he did not this past Friday, but the Friday before, when he was talking about how I care about us, I care about the family. We're the best. All this stuff. The way he's speaking, his mannerisms, and his cadence. Go back, close your eyes. He sounds like The Rock. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Also,
he does.
Yeah.
Actually.
I want to say that I actually wrote down some news for some news and stuff that I had come across the web for us to talk about. So, who's there?
Hello.
Your news. Ding dong. Hello.
Ding dong, hello. Cesaro's behind the door. Oh man. So anyway, I read that MLW Battle Riot 3 in Philly on July 10th has completely sold out.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're picking up steam, man. They are.
Yeah.
They're picking up steam.
Also, today, this is a good one, especially for you, for the AEW, AJ. Today marks officially the Young Bucks as the longest reigning tag team champs in AEW history with 228 days, surpassing Hangman and Omega's 227-day reign.
Nice. I mean, yeah, they've only been around for like 4 years, but still,
Still, longest is longest.
Longest is longest.
So, and then my third headline is Mickie James announced via her IG that she will be wrestling at the NWA All Women's Pay-Per-View.
Nice.
Yep. What did she say? Something like, when they won't let you sit at the table, you make your own table.
Yeah, you make your own table.
Right.
Yeah. So she's doing this women's tournament. So I'm glad to see that, man. That's awesome.
Me too.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, man. I think we all know what our thumbs down is, man. What's your favorite? Let's switch it up. What's your favorite thing about wrestling right now?
Our discussion about favorite entrances because
Just remarks for ourselves.
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
really,
It's fun.
I'm honestly gonna say entrances right now because, like, doing this list, like it just makes me want to go back and watch entrances.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say the entrances just brought back a whole lot of nostalgia for me.
yeah, it was fun.
But no, for real, what I like about wrestling right now, I like the storylines on both NXT and AEW.
I know, Tone.
I like that we're actually, instead of how on Raw and SmackDown we know what's going to happen, on NXT and AEW we're more like, this could happen. We think this is going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with Finn Balor next on NXT. We don't know. We think every time we think that Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are done with each other, they're not really done with each other. So
Yeah.
it's like, so we actually get to be a fan.
You didn't say baby. You didn't say baby when you said Adam Cole.
Baby.
Adam Cole, baby.
Let me tell you what.
Boom.
Let me tell you what. Now, the last time I was at a show was Survivor Series 2019.
19.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And you know how like it takes that one guy to go woo at a show, and then it's like woo, woo,
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah.
Well, Adam Cole is the new one, man, because a guy way across the arena will go, Adam Cole, and then the guy right behind me will go, baby. And like it just went on all night long to the point where by the end of the night, like if one guy said it across the arena, if some guy said it next to me, would probably have gotten murdered because and that's how much we heard it that night.
It's like years later after CM Punk left, everybody's still like CM Punk, CM, when he's not even anywhere near the arena.
No,
Yep.
they're not even in Chicago.
Yeah, my thumbs up is I'm glad we're heading towards fans. I'm loving AEW storylines, and man, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, neither one of them is really good to me right now, but SmackDown is definitely the better of the two. So, God, man, we need something going on with Raw. So, but I want to also bring to attention, guys, on the screen there, our brand new logo with our pretty little faces all marked up in paint.
Look at us go.
Yeah, want to thank is Christy, right? Krista, right? Yep. Which I shared out for her. So thank you so much on our Twitter for doing that for us. So, new logo. Our new pod sponsor, I talked about 1310 Apparel. Happy with those guys, bringing those guys on board. More wrestler interviews are going to start coming up here. We got, like I said, Big Beef next week and plans for more wrestlers coming on after that. All right, boys, let's talk about next week's show. Top 3 favorite SummerSlams. Is it going to be one of those nights?
Yes.
Could be. Very well could be. But there's plenty of them, though. Like, Money in the Bank, we had like 10 years to choose from.
There was a limited number. This one.
You guys are a couple of old heads, so you'll have more older pay-per-views.
You know what happens?
I went to SummerSlam in 01.
You know what happens when Primo calls us old heads? I don't know. I forgot because I'm old. I just want.
Right, you're old and short. I
It's
forgot
a double doozy.
But I'll tell you
Okay,
what,
so-
though, AJ gets shirt of the day. By the way, a little bit of the bubbly shirt there.
I
He's
do
right.
like that.
A little
Yeah.
bit of the bubbly.
I want to
Yeah,
shout out
action.
to there. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. I want to
Yeah.
shout out Southern Underground Pro Sup out of East Nashville,
Sup.
Tennessee,
Sup.
man. Ready for those guys to get fired back up. So,
Les
all right, guys.
Champions.
Le Champion. AJ, what you got for us? Yes, that's tall guy, big, ugly man next to AJ. Yep.
Look at there's tiny. I swear I'm an adult person, AJ, next to.
Looks like Dirty's the
Gigantic.
one working.
Yeah,
I'm taking an important phone call on
Let's
this.
he is.
In this picture, it's very important. I'm sure.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for the show today. If you guys got anything else, AJ, Primo,
Get them cakes.
let's grab them,
That's
man.
it.
Let's
That's
grab
it.
them.
Grab the cakes.
I
Grab
like to switch it up a little bit.
All right, hang tight on that.
You get a
That's
beefy bum.
That's the official outro. Yep, you get to on that. Next week, it's coming. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in and watching the show today. Episode number 15. We'll be back next week with number 16. And I want to thank everybody listening right now on Spotify,
thank you.
iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Sportinarium.com online radio, Fridays at 7:15, right after the Thomas Bryce Show. Man, I love Fridays. I love sitting down, having an adult beverage on a Friday afternoons, listening to Sportinarium Radio.
Yep.
I sit down and listen to sit down marks like it's not even me talking.
Me too. I love because I'll always listen to Thomas Bryce and then
That's right.
straight into us, and it's like it's not even us. Like I'm like,
That's
oh,
right.
wrestling
You
show.
can check out Thomas Bryce. I think he starts at 5.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it does. Yeah.
Yep, he does start at 5. He's talking a lot of hockey right now. He's got some wrestlers on his show, so definitely make sure you check him out. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm the Dirty Bird, your heel host. That's going to do it for us here today. Thank you, AJ and Primo, my favorite.
Adios.
Is it time now? Can I do the line now?
Hang on. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do. Well, that's going to do it today, man. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Dirty Bird. That's Primo. Here comes AJ.
And grab them cakes.